Good morning and welcome to the mid-morning show here on talkSPORT. You're listening to myself, the Porkmeister, and my erstwhile colleague on my right here, old M.G. Graham.
Good morning, Mr. Parry.
Yeah, good morning to you, my boy. Now then, the big football story, of course, massive football story. Joe Cole finally decides on his future and he's going to Anfield. I have to say, I think that's great news for Liverpool and bad news for the other contenders for those top 4 slots in the Premiership next season. I think Joe Cole is one of the outstanding English players, massively underused at the World Cup. Had Joe Cole been used a bit more, then I feel that we would have had a much better campaign. And in fact, Joe Cole's one of the England players who came out of the World Cup with his reputation not in tatters, right? He didn't become a worse player from going to the World Cup and coming back like some of them did because he simply wasn't used.
Well, I guess he didn't really get the opportunity to show that he couldn't fulfil his potential. But the worry I've got about Joe Cole, and you're always telling me that this guy's a special player,
He's a special player.
Everybody says he's got great skills. But the trouble is, the statistics simply don't back it up, Mike. And at the end of the day, I think he will be a player who, when he finishes his career, will always be talked of as though he never quite did what everyone expected him to do.
Oh, really? Sorry. So 3 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cup wins, 2 League Cup wins, an appearance in a Champions League final where he missed it by 1 penalty kick from carrying that medal. And you're saying he's never quite fulfilled his potential.
Are you talking about his time at Chelsea?
I'm talking about his time as a footballer, man.
He was practically always substituted whenever he turned up. He hardly ever played for 90 minutes. I'm going to give you a series of statistics which will knock your socks off,
You can do anything with statistics, mate, but I'm telling you, Joe Cole is a fantastic acquisition for Liverpool. I wish he'd gone to Everton. I want to give me a call, please. 08717 223344. Spurs fans are mortified that they've missed out on him. West Ham fans are mortified. Arsenal fans are mortified. But the people who've got him are Liverpool.
Well, a lot of people can't believe that this guy from London, who is the quintessential London footballer, is going to go to Liverpool. He may not even like it up there.
He's a footballer and he's gone to another massive footballing stage. Yes, good morning to you once again. 6 minutes past 10 here on talkSPORT. Right, the issue is Joe Cole. I'm saying that it's a fantastic acquisition for Liverpool, and I'm even saying this, actually, to the Liverpool fans. I think that it could be that Joe Cole has gone to Liverpool to become the bedrock of the Liverpool team next season, i.e., I think that Liverpool could be planning to build their team around Joe Cole and not Steven Gerrard. You
think because Steven Gerrard is going to go, or do you think because Steven Gerrard is going to stay?
I'm not saying that Steven Gerrard's going to go, but Joe Cole has gone to Liverpool, in my opinion, for footballing reasons. He hasn't gone for money reasons. If it was money reasons only, he could have stayed at Chelsea and picked up 100 grand a week. Yeah. That's not a problem. He's gone to Liverpool because they offered him the best opportunity to do what he wants to do, and I think he wants to play in the middle of midfield where he can actually dictate the pace of a game, the flow of a game, the direction of a game, and the impulse to a game. He's 29 his next birthday, in a perfect position to become, you know, to use a cliche, the midfield general.
Well,
and I think that's what. Now, if he does that, then what's Steven Gerrard going to do? Because Steven Gerrard already sort of plays that role. Steven Gerrard will have to play off Torres, and Joe Cole will be left to dictate the midfield. That's why I think he's gone to Liverpool, for no other reason except that, Mike.
Well, also because he'll definitely get a game at Liverpool. I mean, Jamie Redknapp's in the papers this morning saying that if he knows that Harry Redknapp fancied getting him for Tottenham, but if he had gone to Tottenham, he might not actually have got a game every single week.
Well, I just don't get that. I just don't get that. And I find that a very odd comment for Jamie to make. I think Jamie's a fantastic football analyst, but I don't quite understand that comment of his. I'd need further interpretation.
Well, what he basically says is that there are already players at Tottenham, specifically Luka Modric, and also Kranja.
Well, one of them would have to go.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, they would. If Joe Cole had arrived, one of them would have gone. There's not a problem there. Spurs fans are absolutely mortified that he hasn't gone there.
Yeah.
They thought they had him in the bag. And they thought they had him in the bag for the very reason you've just said. He's a London boy. Why has he gone north?
Right.
Well, that just illustrates to me his commitment to want to go for football reasons.
Doesn't it also tell you that Tottenham, even though they're playing Champions League football this season, are still not quite viewed by people like Joe Cole as one of the big 4 clubs of the country?
I think that's probably a fair assessment. I think that Tottenham have done a fantastic job getting into the Champions League proper. Don't listen to all this nonsense about they've got qualifying games to go through. They're in the Champions League, and the team that's below them are not. And I think maybe they're in the same position Everton were in when we were the last team to break into the Big 4 to go in, and people will never fully accept you. They'll say, oh, well, you just had one great season. OK, we had one great season.
Well, answer me this, though. Why would Joe Cole, who presumably would prefer to play Champions League football, why would Joe Cole go to play for a team that's not playing Champions League football?
Well, he could have gone to Manchester City for a lot more money than he's gone to Liverpool.
And he wouldn't have got in that team either.
Yeah, he would have got in that team, but they don't play Champions League football. The answer to your question, Mike, is this: that the only of the 2 teams he could have gone to play Champions League football, Arsenal and Spurs, I don't think provided him with the sort of platform, the sort of stage that Joe wants to play on, where he will get an awful lot of control over his own destiny.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be messed around, put in and out of team. Don't think Harry would have messed him around, but Arsenal have a big rotation system, and I think he's a fantastic asset. I mean, look...
Well, you say to me he's a fantastic asset. You've said to me all along, for as long as Joe Cole has been playing football, this guy is one of the great footballers of our time.
Oh, he is.
You make out like he's some kind of Pele figure.
Well,
I'm sorry,
he's the nearest thing we've got to Pele.
Well, yeah, but the statistics just don't add up, Mike. Let me tell you some of this. I know that he's not a goal scorer, right? But in all of the seasons that he's been playing in professional football at the top flight, he's only ever scored 10 goals twice, right? Yeah. Most seasons it's 2 goals, 3 goals, 5 goals, 1 goal, right? In, let's see, 230 Premier League starts for West Ham and Chelsea, he was substituted 111 times.
Yeah, but that's not his
around
fault.
About 50% of the time.
Yeah, but that's not his fault. Okay. That's the fault of a manager. And remember, by the way, before you start flashing your statistics around and trying to prove points, he had 2 massive injuries at Chelsea, which kept him out, for respectively 6 months and 8 months.
Well, that's another problem he's got.
No, it's not a problem. He's not injury prone. He's not injury prone. If you do a cruciate or you do an ankle, that's not an injury prone injury. Injury prone injuries are when you've got dodgy calves or dodgy.
But he's no spring chicken.
What's the one that goes
up
the back of your leg? You know, the
Achilles.
David Beckham's like. Yeah, you got dodgy Achilles or something like that. That's the problem there. Anyway, look.
Well, hang on. No, I haven't finished yet.
Well, no, but I want to hear from our listeners, Mike. I've heard enough of statistics from you.
Let me just tell you why you are completely wrong. I mean, I don't doubt that Joe Cole is a great footballer. I don't doubt that at all. But his performances do not fulfil his potential, right? Here's another one for you. He's been credited out of 309 Premier League appearances with just 34 assists. Yeah. That's 10%.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Mike, but your statistics don't mean anything to me. The reason is that Joe Cole's a very special sort of player. If a manager's taken him off and sometimes, by the way, it was in the last 6 or 7 minutes of a game, it's because he's usually run himself to a standstill, right? You've never seen a more energetic player in your life. When he's taken off, the team are usually well in front and safe for a victory.
Well, let me give you another statistic.
Anyway. No, I don't want any more statistics. I don't want any.
64% of the games he played for Chelsea, they were victorious. Yeah. When he played for West Ham, they won less than a third of their games with him playing.
Well, he played in a West Ham team that got relegated when he was captain at 20 years of age, right? It was a very poor team, and if it hadn't been for him, they'd have gone down a lot sooner than they did. They went down in the last game of the season.
How could they have gone down any sooner?
Well, I'll tell you, because they went down in the last game of the season, and what's more, that team in which he was captain when it was relegated got more Premiership points, a relegated team with more Premiership points than any team since. They got 42 points that season, and teams have stayed up with 38 points since then.
But all of your justifications are just more kind of grist to the mill for him not fulfilling his true potential. He's either playing in a bad team, or he gets pulled off 6 minutes from the end, or, he doesn't get his chance to play in South Africa. Let me ask you another question.
No, I've had enough questions. Excuse me, I want to put out a question.
Fabio Capello, Ancelotti and Jose Mourinho all not rate him and never play him.
They do rate him, and they'll rate him very, very highly. Now, let's reach out to the listeners, please, and let's get a more rounded view on Joe Cole from the fans who've seen him play over the years at West Ham, at Chelsea, and now at Liverpool. I hope you Liverpool fans are very excited, because believe me, the boy who's coming to join you is a revolutionary footballer in this country. Given the platform, which I think Roy Hodgson's going to give him, you're going to have an outstanding season if you've got Joe Cole at the centre field. I wish he was going to Goodison. He's not. He's going to Anfield. That's good news for you Copites and bad news for everybody else in the Premiership. Give us a call, please, 08717 223344, or text us on 81089, or email us via the website at talksport.net. We are talking Joe Cole. At least I'm talking sensible Joe Cole, and old MG is throwing statistics at me like confetti.
I'm just saying, the guy has never quite cut it.
Do you know what statistics do, Mike? They hide your basic, inherent lack of knowledge about football and what it's all about.
No, well, I actually take the time to make sure that if I'm going to talk about Joe Cole, I want to know what his actual true stats are.
And I've given you
those stats. I can tell you he is not the player that you describe.
You're empty-headed in the sense that you're saying to me, he's relegated and all. I've just told you why he was relegated. You still can't get it through your thick skull. Give us a call, please, 08717 223344. You're listening to talkSPORT, and it's 10:15.